with this situation here, and I try not to put so much capital into celebrities. Like, they have wealth, they have access that normal folks like me and you don't normally have. So just because someone speaks positively for the common person, I'm not going to hitch my wagon onto them as quickly. I mean, if you guys don't remember, Bill Burr was someone that I championed on this channel, and he ends up doing some really shady things. And it's like, I would never again like put that much real estate into a celebrity. So when we're talking about Halle Berry, which is literally my first time on this channel bringing up Halle Berry, which is crazy, but what she is doing with speaking out and calling by name. She's not saying politicians. She's not saying, whoever's running California. She called out Gavin Newsom by name, which takes balls to do. Okay, so that's number one. So I got to appreciate her on that. But then number two, she is exposing weak liberal policies in regards to healthcare. And for the past 2 weeks, I've been studying healthcare in the United States, other countries versus a single payer, Medicare for all. And there's so many upsides to it. I don't want to bore you guys with the details. This would be like a 40, 50-minute video, but it's so many upsides to having a single payer. In regards to what she's fighting for, looked it up. It will be covered. It will be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You wouldn't have to be fighting insurance companies and lobbyists and a governor to get something like that she wants covered. It will already be covered. But a little context, the bill that she's referring to, the AB 432, also known as the Menopause Care Equity Act. Legislation intended to expand insurance coverage for menopause and premenopause care and to require physicians to receive training in menopause-related health care. Sounds pretty simple. I mean, not the process simple, but a simple ask. And I'm not an expert in menopause. I am married, and my wife does talk about things like this, but I'm no expert. But it sounds like if women are going through this, our healthcare system should be able to take care of them. Not should be, they have to. This is non-negotiable. Let alone these are American citizens. Our government needs to be taking care of their citizens. And with this conversation, with liberal policies, it's not going to do that. The AB 432 would have required California health insurance plans to cover Medicare for menopause and premenopause. This includes hormone therapy, non-hormonal medications, treatment for vaginal and urinary symptoms, and treatment to prevent or manage other symptoms. Coverage will also apply as long as a doctor says the treatment is medically necessary. Gavin Newsom likely vetoed AB 432 because it increased healthcare costs, faced insurance industry pushback, which is weird, risked making him look too far left nationally, opened him to attacks about raising premiums, which once again, with a single payer, you ain't got to worry about that, and threatened the moderate political image he wants to maintain as a future presidential candidate. I hate to sound like a broken record, but guess what? You wouldn't have to worry about as much issues like this under a single payer. But without further ado, let's go ahead and fix this here because you guys don't see anything. And that is a problem. Let's go ahead and fix this. Boom, boom, boom. And let's go ahead and get into the conversation.
conversation.
It'll be fascinating.
All right.
Be the next president. Berry was speaking at the New York Times annual Deal Book Summit and came around to the topic of California's Menopause Care Equity Act.
The legislation, which would have increased health care coverage for women going through menopause, had bipartisan support in the state's legislature, but Newsom vetoed the bill last year and then vetoed it again in October of this year, citing cost and implementation concerns. And the Oscar-winning actress is still upset about it. Take a look.
Back in my great state of California, my very own governor, Gavin Newsom, has vetoed our menopause bill, not 1 but 2 years in a row. But that's okay, because he's not going to be governor forever. And with the way he's overlooked women, half the population, by devaluing us in midlife, he probably should not be our next president either.
Hey.
Just saying.
Hey, I'm just saying, can I say, please? Hey, once again, round of applause. Round of applause for Miss Halle Berry. Once again, she don't have to speak out on this. I'm pretty sure she got the money and the opportunities and the resources to get whatever she wants done. But damn it, that's bars right there. That right there is bars. She said, hey, he ain't gonna be governor for long. That's shot number one. Then she said, he may not even be president either. That's speaking truth to power right there. That kind of verbiage, that type of calling out is what got him to respond. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure there's been women throughout California complaining about this. And it sucks that it does take a celebrity to have to go on stage where she knows she's going to get attention to speak out for it. I mean, I'm pretty sure Gavin understands about this and knows that this has been an issue, but that's liberals for you. I'm sorry if you're a liberal. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings. That's liberals for you in a nutshell, but let's continue.
Just saying, indeed. Newsom did respond to Berry's comments, saying that he will look to include expanded menopause care in next year's state budget. He told TMZ reporters that he has connected with Halle Berry's manager, and he said, quote, "We have the ability to reconcile that, so we're reconciling," end quote. This is an issue that Berry has been vocal about for some time. Last year, she co-founded the company Respin Health, which provides support to women going through menopause.
Berry's comments were picked up by conservatives online, with many praising her for speaking out against the governor. Conservative activist and former ESPN anchor Sage Steele, writing on X, "One of many reasons to vote against Gavin Newsom. Thank you, Halle Berry." And Chad Bianco, a Republican candidate to be California's next governor, said, "This took courage. Hollywood has been propping Gavin up. I love seeing her willing to go against the grain."
Okay. Any Republican, I'm sorry, I'm a very biased person. I don't try to understand weird people's point of views and opinions. I'm not that guy, okay? I'm sorry, I don't care. Any Republican sitting here and saying, "Great job, Halle Berry. You're doing a good job, Halle Berry," while your party is literally stripping away women's rights. What are you doing here? Don't you got a party to be fighting? So I don't want to hear this took courage. Hollywood has been popping Gavin up. No, your party don't care about women. They don't care about people in general, okay? Let's be 100 with that. So I don't want to hear nothing from no damn Republicans, conservatives, MAGA, whatever, because you're already in a losing party. So this conversation here in regards to healthcare and making it better, you're not qualified to be in this conversation. At least not with me. Let's be honest with that, okay?
Newsom has confirmed he's considering running for president, in 2028, but he says he'll wait until after the midterms to make an official decision. As it stands, he's obviously viewed as one of the favourites to win the Democratic nomination. Pretty interesting one, this, Drew. When I first saw the headlines, I was surprised because Halle Berry is, I would say, obviously a liberal-leaning figure. I actually looked up campaign donations in case I'd got that part wrong, but no, she has donated to a few Democrats, including President Obama when he was an active candidate. And so for her to take a shot at Newsom was interesting, but it is obviously based on pretty substantive grounds, at least, which is, as we said in the introduction, her advocacy for increased care for women experiencing menopause and Newsom's veto of that legislation.
I just want to point out that we are two men here sitting wearing makeup talking about menopause.
Absolutely.
So we'll couch it with that. But
the comments section will have plenty to say about that, I assure you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it appears that Governor Newsom has extended an olive branch and that he's going to work on getting some funding for this legislation. He was worried that if this was the bill was implemented that Halle Berry was promoting, that it would actually lead to increased costs for other people's health care. But I do think there is a conversation.
No, he is right. It is going to do that. These insurance companies are going to increase the premiums. That is the problem. And of course, within the system that we have, if you can make it happen, of course, but it's going to increase something, somehow, some way, between the consumer and the hospital, somewhere in between, cost is going to rise. And people are not going to like that. But once again, I'm a progressive. This is a progressive channel. We don't sugarcoat that around here. Okay, we stand on business over here. The only way, I'm going to repeat it again for the people in the back who's hard of hearing, the only way to get something like this and other issues and kick out insurance companies, kick out pharmaceutical companies, kick out all these in-between middlemen that can increase prices for whatever reason for their profit, get all that out the way. And a single payer is the way to go. And if you don't know, now you know. But if you still don't know, go ahead and look this up. Educate yourself. Join the Discord so we can educate you so you can learn the business. But Gavin Newsom, who receives lobby money from these pharmaceutical companies, from these insurance companies, he's not going to put them second. He's not going to put them, in the backseat and worry about his constituents. No. That's why money in politics is corruption. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, is this going to happen? It's a good chance it's not. Other states like Oregon, Illinois, and I forgot the 3/4 one that have something similar to what Halle Berry is asking for. But how come not California, which I think they can afford it? But no, that's liberal policies. That's neoliberalism for your ass right there. But hey, keep defending a broken system if you want to.
To be had here in how much Gavin Newsom will be accepted into the kind of progressive online Hollywood aspect of the Democratic Party, because he hasn't always been seen as kind of the heir apparent to that movement. You think more about like AOC, Bernie Sanders, even Mamdani. Gavin Newsom, I think, has some work to do to solidify his standing with the base of the Democratic Party. I think he's probably done a lot of that with his prominence on social media and the way he mocks the Trump administration, but California has obviously had a lot of issues that are going to make him vulnerable in a general election to Republican attacks. And I think there are issues that he's going to face in a Democratic primary, which everybody thinks he's going to hop into at some point, where he's going to have some struggles to convince people on the left that he's really one of them.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he's not. I'm sorry to break it to you. I know some people don't like labels and, you know, these tribal type of tendencies, but I'm sorry. You're not one of us. You're not like us. Plain and simple. Sorry to hurt your feelings. You don't have our principles. You don't have our integrity. You do not care about people. Just because you're on Twitter talking bad about Trump, which I do appreciate, that doesn't mean you're progressive. That doesn't mean you're like me. No, I'm sorry. Let's nip that in the butt right now. And if anybody disagrees with that, let me know. We need to have a conversation here because somebody needs to be learned something. So to answer your question, young man, before this guy, no, he's not like us. And 9 times out of 10, he ain't going to be like us.
I think those are great points. To go back to the first one first, the menopause issue, you're absolutely right to say that Newsom isn't saying, oh, I don't care about these menopause health coverage for menopause-related issues. His argument is that the legislation as drawn up was too broad, could have unintended consequences, and he says the same objective can be met in other ways. Now, the Team Halle Berry says that there are other states like Illinois and Michigan and so on that has moved in these kind of areas with good outcomes. But the bigger picture issue, I think, is a really interesting one about Newsom and the progressive side of the Democratic Party. He definitely was not identified with that side. I mean, he's a liberal governor of California, but he's not an AOC Sanders type figure. He did seem to be trying to at least court, if not the harder left, at least people who want a more combative approach from the Democratic Party. Remember, just after the election, he himself had seemed to go the opposite direction briefly on his podcast, and he brought on people like Steve Bannon and the late Charlie Kirk. But recently he has been much more forceful. There have been all the tweets mocking Trump's sort of tweeting style and just generally trying to, metaphorically speaking, punch Trump in the nose more frequently. But is that enough to get progressives on his side? It may not be, and controversies like this do, I think, feed into that conversation.
It'd be fascinating to see.
And the answer is no. And once again, you have to look at the consistency. You have to look at the receipts. You have to look at the person. Who are they getting their money from? Insurance companies? Lobbyists? Why? What incentives do they have to fix this healthcare system if they're getting paid by those individuals who want to keep the healthcare system the way it is? And it's not broken. It's broken for us, but it's working the way that it was made to for them. And they know if they pay these politicians hundreds of thousands of dollars, they will maintain the status quo. And I'm sorry, until you fix that, people like Gavin Newsom is not going to fix the issue, or at least with 100% effort. He might throw Halle Berry a bone, like, hey, okay, here you go. Just shut up, stop talking bad about me. All right, here's a little something. But why settle for crumbs when we can have the whole loaf of bread? And I don't know about you, but I'm tired. I'm tired of crumbs. I'm hungry. I'm coming for the whole loaf of bread. That's simple.
Let's see how you do under pressure. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Fuck with me, you know that